Out from the island they come, lost but not alone. Leany gives them a place, a new island they call home. Under the tropical sun, stories begin to flow. Contestants old and brave find a new kind of glow. According to Leany, she's got a plan. Rescue the fallen with a wave of her hand. According to Leany, sun-kissed and free, a home for the broken, out on the sea. Cameras have gone away, but new lights start to shine. In her presence they stay, in this new life they find. According to Leany, she's got a plan. Rescue the fallen with a wave of her hand. According to Leany, sun-kissed and free, a home for the broken, out on the sea. Cameras have gone away, but new lights start to shine. In her presence they stay, in this new life they find. According to Leany, she's got a plan. Rescue the fallen with a wave of her hand. According to Leany, sun-kissed and free, a home for the broken, out on the sea. No affliction here, just love and care. Turtle islands come, but your heart finds its lair. According to Leany, sun-kissed and free, a home for the broken, out on the sea. No eviction here, just love and care. Turtle Island's gone, but your heart finds its lair. No eviction here, just love and care.
Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, I'm back. Let me turn off all this. Okay, we're back already. My God, the house is hot, hot, hot. Hold on, let me shut the door. Oh, gosh. Y'all, we go from cold to hot here in Indiana. It was nice and cool this morning, and now it's burning up. How's everybody doing? Thank you, 8 people. I appreciate it so much. Do me a favor, hit the like. Hi, TLC is me. Jay Brad, Barbara Smith, Melly Joe. Who else? Lizzo. God, I'm so hot. I need a fan. Oh. Rapper. Did I miss anybody? Okay. I don't know what y'all been doing since I signed off, but of course I had to go on the Idaho page and see if there was anything I missed while we were watching the Kohberger pre-trial hearing today. And I was I'm sorry, you guys, I'm out of sorts because it's so damn hot. Let me check the air. Listen, being a fat girl and with heat is not good. If I'm cold, I can just put on a damn robe. But if it's hot, oh my God. Babe, it's 81 degrees in this house. I swear you can't do. System off. Oh, holy hell. I don't know how to work it. Hold on. William, it's 81 degrees in this house. 80 fucking 1. And the system is turned off. And I'm a fat girl and I need some air. Make that happen, please. Oh, for the love. Okay, sorry. Little marital strife there. I'm gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine. Anyways, Rapper, I'm a fat girl. I'm telling you, I'm trying to carry these boobs around like nobody's business. Listen. So anyways, I went on and tried to figure out exactly what they were having closed hearings about, right? Because they, we had a nice little chit chat with the judge today, or listen to him foam at the mouth about stuff he wanted to happen during the trial. And then they had closed door hearing. And you know me, Miss Nosy, I want to know, right? MJD is a prostitute. Girl, ain't no wrong with that. I come from a long line of prostitute women. Go ahead, girl. Make that money. Anyways, then I started running through everything, right? Haha. There was a couple of things that were put out finally on the judicial page. Brian C. Kohberger. So I wanted to show you guys that. I don't know if you guys have watched any other YouTubers that are, there's a lot of this going around now. A lot of people have fired up quick lives to let you guys know what's going on. Hi, Lunchy. To let you guys know what's going on. And so I was like, well, damn, I'm going to fire me up one too. What up? I'm going to hang out with my friends. Here we go. Let me pull this up real quick. What should we start with? Let's start with something racy. I like racy. The racier, the better. All right, let's take a look at this, you guys. Let me make it. Okay, that's as big as I can get it there. Let me take myself off the screen. Check this out. I don't know if you heard, but you're hearing it now. I hope you heard it here first. A judge overseeing the pretrial hearings for Brian Kohberger, the former criminology grad student accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students in November of 2022, ordered prosecutors and defense attorneys Thursday, which was today in the closed hearing case, to preserve records after an apparent leak made its way into Dateline NBC episode last week. Now, y'all, after this has happened, I'm going to quit like supporting people and putting people's names out there, even though this is what I think. Okay. I don't know if anybody leaked. Apparently somebody did because Hitler said so. So I have to believe him. He knows all. He's all seeing eye in this case. But Dateline has got some really big lawyers. I mean, they've been around for years and years and years. Keith Morrison, this could be his job, So I would think that this wasn't the first time they've been accused of receiving evidence that was leaked. Now, did they know it was leaked? I don't know. But I said when I first started playing it about Keith Morrison, I was like, I really like this guy. I don't feel like he's going to like steer us in the wrong way. I'm telling you, what this proves right now to me, I don't know about you guys, is that most, if not all, of what Keith Morrison put out on Dateline is fact. Because if it was just crap, like what people put out on the internet and what other stations say and stuff like that, the judge would just be like, pay no mind, let's keep going. Oh no, the judge wants shit done now. Okay? He's pissed, and he should be. Judge Stephen Hippler, I call him Hippler because I think that's much cooler of a name, also requested more information on a proposed defense argument that there is a possible alternate perpetrators during one of the last hearings before the trial goes ahead later this summer. Kohberger, 30, was seen in the courtroom at the hearing Thursday morning on a live stream, seated in between his attorneys, wearing a white shirt and a dark pattern tie. He faces 4 counts of murder in the deaths of Madison, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan, who were fatally stabbed at an off-campus home in Moscow, Idaho, in the overnight hours of November 13th, 2022. Kohberger was arrested in the killings over a month later in his home in Pennsylvania, and a not guilty plea was entered on his behalf in May 2023. The lurid case has riveted the public and has already been featured in multiple true crime documentaries. Still, prosecutors have not outlined his potential motive, and a sweeping gag order has kept the parties from speaking public, making each pretrial hearing an opportunity to quench the public's thirst to learn more details, right? That's so true. We're all there. We're there. The public's desire for instant knowledge on the case was addressed in an order filed by Hippler Thursday, which reprimanded all parties involved for potentially leaked information that was featured in a Dateline NBC special on Friday. The special featured extensive records from Kohberger's phone, including internet and Amazon searches, Instagram photos, and cell phone tower data, according to the order. Dateline also obtained security footage showing a car driving near the off-campus home around the same time the investigators think the murders occurred. In the scathing orders, Hippler said the leak will have lasting repercussions, and it is imperative to attempt to see that the source of such leak is identified and held to account. Such violations not only undermine the rule of law, potentially by persons charged with upholding it, but also significantly impede the ability to seat an impartial jury. Both orders said adding the leak will add additional cost and time to select a jury. Importantly, such violations potentially frustrate the ability to ensue both sides receive a fair trial, one of the orders said. Both the prosecution and the defense are ordered to retain all records relevant to the leaked information and submit a list within 7 days of who on their team came into contact with the relevant evidence. Oh my goodness, does this remind y'all of something? Remember when the pictures of Abby and Libby were leaked and it was someone on the defense side that did it? Remember that? Both the prosecution and the defense, we got all that. Jury selection is scheduled to begin late July, with the trial slated to start August the 11th. If convicted, Kohberger could face the death penalty. Judge sets June pre-trial hearing date. Recent pre-trial hearings have touched on the admissibility of key pieces of evidence, including Kohberger's autism diagnosis, DNA analysis, his Amazon purchase history, and a witness description of the suspect's bushy eyebrows. Kohberger's legal team also has previously said that it plans to present evidence of alternate perpetrators ahead of the trial. Did you guys hear that? So they have got, I think this is going to happen on June the 6th, if I'm keeping my dates correct. They have to not only tell the judge who they believe is the perpetrator of these crimes, but they have to have evidence backing it up. Remind me to tell you who I think that they're going to say did it, because I think I know. During Thursday's hearings, Hitler broke down the trial process in stages, discussing matters including jury selection, hours for the trial, and seating within the trial courtroom. I am not a fan of surprises, Hitler said. The judge directed the defense team that he would like to get back from the declaration of the last best offer, referring to the possible plea deal from the prosecutors, by late June or early July. In other words, identifying whether the defendant received an offer and whether he has accepted or rejected it. So there you guys have it. The judge does not know if he has received an offer yet for a plea. And if he hasn't, they've got until the end of June, early July to submit it to the court. So June is going to be a long month, y'all. The next 6 weeks is going to be a long month. Y'all just better get ready for it. Get you a kiddie pool, fill it up with water out in your backyard. Get you some iced tea or Diet Coke or even coffee and sit there and just let your skin turn all wiggly and slimy and old, because it's going to be a long, hot month. Prosecutors aren't required to entertain a plea deal bargain away with the death penalty, but often they do. Whether Kohberger is actually considering a plea deal in the killing of 4 University of Idaho students on November 13th is unknown. For jury selection, the judge outlined his plan to assign a scrambled number to each person within the universe of jurors who will receive questionnaires. Hitler stressed the security and confidentiality of those questionnaires. Hitler decided that there will be 8 alternates. So that's 8 alternates. That's 20 people altogether out of the 10,000. He wants to pool for between, now he's saying between 50 and 55. Because remember, first they're saying we're going to have 10,000, right? We're sending out 10,000. Please report to jury duties, right? Then these people are going to sit here and go, nope, this person can't do it because it's a felon. Nope, this person can't do it because they're over a certain age. Nope, this person can't do it because they don't have a car to get back and forth. Nope, this one can't do it because it's got medical issue. So then the pool goes down even smaller and smaller and smaller until we get to 50 to 55, from which 12 jurors and 8 alternates, totaling 20 jurors, will be selected. So I guess when they get down to the 50 to 55, that's when the Dyer, whatever. Beefcake taught me that word. The trial is expected to be live streamed after jury selection. Both sides discussed witnesses that may not want to appear on camera, including the surviving roommates. Hitler responded by saying the roommates are victims of burglary. He added that there is a compelling interest to protect victims in the courtroom, and that if the victims request it, their faces will not be shown. However, he said, he would have to be convinced not to show the other witnesses on the live stream because the public interest in the case, meaning that Kohberger's family member, y'all are going to have to submit a really, really, really good reason as to why we can't see their faces on the live stream. However, he said he would have to be convinced not to show the other one. The best way that we have to ensure the public is accepting of whatever verdict may be reached in this case is for the public to have the ability to see all the evidence. Right on, Hitler. Give me those crime scene photos. I will let everybody know. The trial will run Monday through Friday, beginning at 8:45 a.m. and ending at 3:30 p.m. local time. If the jury becomes sequestered, Hitler said he is likely to extend those hours. You guys, I think it's going to be a sequestered jury. I just do. He noted that they may ultimately need to sequester jurors once the trial goes into deliberations. Hitler ordered that the seats he ordered that the seats to be reserved inside the trial courtroom for the surviving roommates. I don't know whether they would have any desire to be here. I suspect not, given the way they've been treated by the media. Y'all suck, you media people. Quit being mean to the surviving roommates. Stop it. But if they want to do that, they will have seats available, he said. Seating will also be reserved for the family members of the victims and 4 Kohberger family members. I think we already know who that is. Mommy, daddy, and the 2 sisters. The possibility of the death penalty hangs over the case. If he is convicted of capital murder, Kohberger would then face the penalty phase, in which the jury will consider further evidence and decide whether he is sentenced to death or a lesser punishment. Life in prison without the possibility of parole. The jury will receive capital punishment case instructions in the pre-proof phase of the trial, the judge said. If there is a guilty verdict on any of the murder counts, the penalty phase would likely begin the next day, he said, given that the jury will certainly be sequestered during the process. All right, we already know how we got here. We know all about it, so I'm not going to read it, not to be disrespectful, but time permitting. How's everybody doing? Good to see you, Lulu Coey. How are you? Do any jury members in the USA need to be local people, or can they be selected from anywhere? Good question. I asked that today myself, and I was told that they have to be. I would love for you to come up, Rapper. Can you give me a few minutes just to go over these, babe? I'd love to have you up. They would have to be selected from Idaho. I don't see how anyone in the state wouldn't know about it, but the one guy that came on panel that I told to go get off the panel was in Idaho and didn't know anything about it. Right. Well, we did look it up. There's 2.2 million people in the state of Idaho. Rapper, hang out with me, honey. I'll put you up here in just a minute, okay? I don't think he's going to take a plea, you guys. I just don't. I don't see him. I mean, that's not the way that any of his so-called heroes did it. I mean, Ted Bundy didn't do it. BTK didn't do it. You know, I mean, I just don't see him doing it. Let's pull this up. I want to go ahead and pull up the document that was released and let you guys hear what the judge says. Somebody's in trouble, you guys. I don't know who, but so I don't know who all followed the Delphi, but it's the only one that I have to go off of because something similar to this happened. And there were 2 photos that were released that were leaked of the girls while they were dead on the ground. And it came out that it was somebody that was once attached to the defense. The defense, the lead defense on the case left the picture sitting out on a desk when this person who used to work on the case came in to talk to him, saw him, apparently snap pictured, send it over to somebody sent it over to somebody, and eventually we all had him. Listen, it could be, I don't understand how it would be the prosecution that would do it, and here's why. Prosecution has been ready to go for weeks. You guys see the prosecution in these. They're just sitting over there, just chilling, writing their notes. They don't give a damn. They're like, we got it. We got it, and we got him. Their case is secure in their eyes. It is the defense that has filed 13, hear me, 13 different motions to get the death penalty taken off the table. 13 different motions, with the last being that he's got ADHD and he couldn't possibly have done this. And the judge has shot down all 13 of them. So now we hear, okay, so now we hear he just didn't do it all together, and they know exactly, Brian Kohberger knows exactly who did it. So he has stayed in jail for all these years, but he's known who's killed. He's been in all these court proceedings. He's gone through all this shit. And just now, they're going to tell the judge who Brian Kohberger thinks did it. Okay. He's too cocky. I agree. Lou says, I watched a good video by Behavioral Panel on Richard Allen this morning. Pardon me, was very interesting. He swayed me a little to thinking he's guilty. Well, he is guilty. He was tried by a jury of his peers, and they found him guilty. So he's guilty. But I know he's guilty. I know that case better than I know my own case. Jeez Louise. All right, let's go here. Hope everybody's doing good. Will you do me a favor? Hit the like. I'd appreciate it so much. That's all I ever ask. That's it. You have to do nothing else for me. Please. Just hit that. Hit the like. All right, where am I at? Here, let me take myself off, make this as big as I can. Lulu, I'm sorry. A county can have a couple or a lot of cities in them, like I'm in an actual county with 2 cities. But Los Angeles is the biggest county in the States, and there are many cities that to that county. Right. Yeah. Like our whole state has I want to say 20 something or 30 something counties, but there's a whole bunch of our cities that are in the same county. All right, let's go here. If he knew who did it, why hasn't he said anything years ago? Bingo, Melly, ding, ding, ding. You get the award for thinking the best with your brain today. I'm telling you, the Kohbergers are going to just eat this shit up. Win for the Kohbergers. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Nope, that one. All right. This is the state of Idaho, the plaintiff, versus Brian C. Kohberger, the defendant. Based on the sensitive information not previously publicly circulated that was reported during a recent Dateline TV program related to this case and to the defendant, Brian Kohberger, it appears likely that someone currently or formerly associated with law enforcement or the prosecution team, this is bullshit because they need to go ahead and put the defense team in there too, potentially by persons charged with upholding it, but also significantly impeded the ability to seat an impartial jury and will likely substantially increase the cost to be borne by taxpayers of Latah County to prosecute this case by extending the time it will take to seat the jury and potentially requiring a lengthy period of juror sequestration. And therein lies the scary part of it, you guys. I mean, Dateline put this out nationwide. Not only did it go out nationwide, but it went out all over the world. Now it's going to be even harder to seat a jury. Accordingly, the court finds it imperative to attempt to see that the source of such leak is identified and held to account, and that doing so is the best deterrent for future violations. Accordingly, the court finds it appropriate to exercise its discretion by entering this order. It is hereby ordered that all persons who at any time, past or present, worked directly or indirectly by employment, contract, consultation, or otherwise for or on the behalf of law enforcement or prosecution agency engaged in the investigation or prosecution of persons for the murders that are of subject of this instant case are hereby prohibited from deleting, discarding, overriding, destroying, altering, or otherwise making unavailable any, whether electronic or material form, records, files, documents, metadata, messages, emails, text messages, direct or private messages, phone logs, or logs of communication, regardless of whether made or kept on a work owned or personal account device or messaging app, that in any way relate to or document the fact or substance that the communications with third persons, including representatives of the media or other persons or entities outside of law enforcement, which communications in any way relate to, refer to, or concern the investigation of Brian Kohberger, the facts or allegations uncovered, reported to law enforcement concerning Brian Kohberger, or the investigation into the homicides that are subject of the current or then potential criminal prosecution of Brian Kohberger, collectively documents or singularly a document. All such documents or materials or records that could potentially constitute a document, even if it is uncertain whether such meet the criteria, shall be preserved and must be protected from deletion, alteration, or loss until further ordered from the court. That means anybody that's got anything to do with this, law enforcement, anybody that's ever touched this case in any way, shape, or form, they are not to delete any files, any text messages, anything that has to do with these homicides at all until the court says that they can. All such documents or materials or records that could potentially constitute a document, even if it is uncertain whether such meet the criteria, shall be preserved and be protected from deletion. We got all that. Any feature on any device or account that is set to automatically delete or overwrite information that could be covered by this order must immediately be disabled. It is further ordered that within 7 days, 7 from today, the state shall submit to the court in camera. I don't know what that means. Does he want pictures of it or what? A list of individuals within law enforcement and prosecuting agencies, past or present, who are known to have had access to any facts related to the investigation of the defendant, including but not limited to surveillance videos of suspect vehicle 1, the AT&T records of the defendant's cell phone, and the content of the defendant's cell phone and other electronic devices and social media accounts, including internet search history, photographs, information associated with the defendant's Amazon account, or any information referenced in the above mentioned Dateline episode regarding this case. The state is further required to provide a copy of this order to all such individuals and document that it has been done so. Failure to comply with this order may be basis for finding of contempt of court and such other civil and criminal consequences as may be appropriate. Within 7 days, the state must also provide to the court a written plan designed to address and prevent the future unauthorized disclosure of information related to this case and what it has done or proposes to do to identify any violations of the court's non-dissemination orders previously entered in this case and those responsible for such violation. And that was set before Hitler's hand on the 15th day of May. And I was kidding around, you guys, when I said that the defense also needs to be added in here. So what the judge did was he drew this up, and my God, there was a whole bunch of run-on sentencing going on there, Mr. Hitler, Judge, sir. Okay? Stop the run-on sentences. It's hard to read. But I was joking when I said, oh, wait a minute, they need to put defense in. I mean, yeah, the defense in here too, not just the prosecution. Both of the prosecution and the defense both got this order from the judge. What says you? Let me jump in chat. I would have loved to have seen that part of the hearing instead of the part that we saw. What y'all think? Let me go back up here and try to figure this out, you guys. Good video. Okay, got that. All right, let's see. If you knew, all right, we got that. Let's see. Thanks, sis J. Brad. So is the king. Okay, got that. Idaho is where Daybell was from, wasn't it? Yes, and it's actually going to be in the same courthouse. That poor state has had some heavy cases the past few years. Yes. Melly Joe, remember when he was first arrested, he asked if anyone was arrested too. I think he had set up in his mind, even prior to doing the crime. Time will tell. Well, whenever it was reported that when they went and arrested him in Pennsylvania, he actually when he got into the police car, he said, hey, how about when this is over, we go get some coffee together? You guys, that is just some hearsay, both of those comments, the one in Pennsylvania, where he was arrested at his house, and then and then that one as well. If anybody was arrested too, it has not been confirmed or verified that either of those statements are fact. That just came out from people and people ran with it. I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm not saying I can't find any factual information on it. Well, like I was kidding around, you guys. I mean, he sent the same letter to the prosecution and the defense, and the police, and he's sending it to the. I mean, y'all, he's gonna shake things. This judge ain't playing. But here's the deal: some news outlets that when I came on here and I started like finding all the stuff to do this live with, there are some saying that this could be a whole thing about that he just drops this case, saying it's a mistrial right here, right now, because the gag order was not protected the way that it should be protected by whomever. I don't think it's going to go that far, and here's why. I think they're going to figure out who did it. Even if they have to subpoena Dateline. Even if there's a separate court hearing for it and they have to subpoena Dateline. If they subpoena Dateline, they're going to have to give up their sources or go to jail. That's the way it goes. But calling this a mistrial at this point, it doesn't really matter. And here's why. It's already all out there. So having a trial either this coming August or waiting until a year, it doesn't matter. We all know the evidence now by that Dateline. At least most of it. I believe it to be true, or else he would have not. He named everything that Dateline talked about. He was not happy. And I don't like Ann Taylor. I probably would have liked Ann Taylor if I hadn't saw her flirting with the judge. Now, I shouldn't be shitty about her for flirting with the judge to help her client get whatever she wants out of the judge. Because there's been many times I've flirted with cops and got myself out of tickets, but I wasn't on the line for a quadruple murder. I had a seatbelt violation. You can't tell me that these lawyers don't know that he did it or he didn't do it. They know. But there's attorney-client privilege. So it never has to come out. In fact, it's against the law for the attorney ever to say anything. OJ's dead. Why do you think the attorneys that are still alive haven't come out and said, yeah, we do. We knew we got it. It's against the law. At campsite, fewer here. Well, you have so much fun, Joyce. Millie Joe is on BRB. Can't remember where I heard it, but someone said it was someone connected to the FBI. I think the night that we talked about it, somebody came in here and said that someone from the FBI had to be the one that leaked it. But I don't know, because the FBI actually came in to help. And everything that Dateline showed, I mean, it was all right there centered around the town. Like, you know, I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know, but I think we're going to find out. I saw Joni say an FBI's agent's wife or something, they wouldn't get fired. Really? Oh, did Joni say that? We'll have to ask her. Whoever put this out is in big trouble in Little China. That is correct. Bundy said the same thing about has anyone else been arrested? He was copying Bundy. Yeah. We never know where they come from, guys. I just take stuff. If I can't find it, I just don't even think about it. Have any prior housemates come out? Did they ever experience anything strange with someone stalking the house, hanging around, or knowing BK? Oh, I'm sure they've talked to plenty. But everybody's being tight-lipped. And I think Goncalvis's dad said that he does not believe that BK was, he had never heard one of the girls talking about BK being at the house, or a strange guy like that being at the house party. So he doesn't think so, but who knows? Special prosecutor coming in. Do you guys remember what I told you, that it happened last month or the month before, that somebody on the defense team, they replaced him with somebody else, with a female? It was a guy. And now Brian Kohberger's whole defense team are females. Do you guys remember that? I'm sure it was in Grizzly is where I heard it. I remember someone saying something about it, but I don't know. I don't know, but I don't like Ann Taylor, but listen, all Ann Taylor has done is try to get the death penalty taken off. And at the last court hearing, she threw a loop to the judge, big time. The last thing she brought up to the judge, she waited to the end because she knew it was going to piss him off, when she told him, I don't think I could be ready by August. And he sat back in his chair and he said, why am I just hearing this now? And she said, well, Your Honor, it's better I tell you now than to wait until jury selection and I tell you that we're not ready. But funny how she said she could be ready if they would just take the death penalty off the table. If you could take the death penalty off the table, Your Honor, Sir Judge, we could be ready. And then he said, why haven't you gotten any help? Why haven't you gotten any, called the courthouse and got some help, from, I forget what they call them. They're not lawyers yet, but they're studying for lawyers and stuff like that. And she said, well, that would be nice, Judge, but how am I supposed to keep it all in my brain? He said, simple. They work for you. They let you know what you need to know and what you don't. And that's right, TLC is me. She took on, and that's another thing he asked her. Paralegal. Thank you, love bug. That's another thing he asked her when she said that. He said, then why did you take on another death penalty case? Oh, y'all, we should all I need to go back there and just crop her face looking at him, because I don't think she expected him to put that out there. I'm sorry. If I was Brian Kohberger, I think at that point I would have stood up and said, excuse me, Your Honor, Sir Judge, Sir Hippler. Listen, I can't have homegirl here taking on another death penalty case when she hasn't even helped me all the way yet, Sir Honor Judge person. So what are we going to do about this? I would pitch a bitch. That's what I would do, because he's right. How the hell are you going to take on another death penalty case when you've had this one for nearly 3 years and he can't get it done? So fuck off, Ann Taylor. Deuces. Double deuces. Hi, Sean. Good to see you. Thank you for coming back. Lulu says J. Brad Bundy's mother was supportive too. Seems as though BK family are too. No mom wouldn't want to think they gave birth to a murderer of multiple people. I don't envy them. It's got to. I think he was her baby. Doing her job, though all lawyers are bottom feeders until you need one yourself. That's correct. Then you just need to know what bottom of yours needs to be fed. That's correct. That's what people say about cops too. Everybody hates cops. And then all of a sudden, your house is the one broke into. Who are you going to call? Bundy's mom and dad beloved him until he confessed before being shocked. Yeah. She's the only death penalty lawyer apparently on the service for that area. Not all lawyers are qualified for death penalty cases. Here's the deal, though. This is not an Ada County court. This is a Latah County court. They moved the court. So just like in that other death penalty case, if she's busy with this one, they could move his whole court somewhere else in the state and have a different defense lawyer. That's how that works. Because he also, did you know that whenever he left Latah County and they moved him down to Ada, the judge, Sir Judge, he could have remained on the case, but for whatever reason he didn't go. So that's when Hippler got appointed. She also could have left the case because her district is not in Ada County. Now she's 2 hours away from home. So unless it's a weekend, she's stuck all week down in Ada. So she could have said, no, I'm not going with Brian Kohberger. You all give them to whoever's down there in Ada County. That's how that could have worked. But she's going. So no, she had a choice whether to take on that one or not. That's like what the judge said. And yet you took on another one. She didn't say nothing to that other than, Your Honor, Judge, Sir Judge, Mr. Hippler. I'd rather tell you now than tell you the day that we're sitting in a jury. How about you told him like 2 hours ago when it all first started? That's why the judge said so many times today, y'all know I don't like surprises. All right, Judge Hippler. Hey, digital maniac. I don't think Dateline will ever give up their source. Their source. I'm sure NBC high-priced lawyers thought of this before airing the episode. I'm right there with you. I think somebody would go to jail before they would do it. I mean, how much time are you going to serve in jail? You know? In today's world, shit, you'd be out smoking a cigarette in 40 minutes, that is. JB, like Casey Anthony's mom, I can't judge unless you're in that position yourself. We have pre-built function to love, protect our kids no matter what. It's going against nature to do otherwise. Listen, I got something else. I do feel bad for Casey Anthony's mom. I do. But what I really feel bad about is that she didn't even try to protect her husband. She didn't even try. She let the defense tell all them lies, let her daughter sit there and tell all them lies about him SAing his daughter, and she didn't bat an eye. And he's still with her. Digital Maniac, I think, thanks to Law and Order, that news sources are protected sources. Yeah. I don't know about that. Are they really? I don't think they're even trying to go. I mean, because Dateline didn't do anything wrong, right? Whoever told Dateline whatever they wanted to tell them was either bought or they were just given the information. They didn't do anything wrong. They did zero wrong. Whoever leaked the information are the people that did something wrong. Has everyone seen the Dateline episode? I did. I have. Yes, it was remarkable. I'm trying to remember if I saw the Lori Dumbbell one. Don't think I saw the Idaho. When was it recently? It was last week. They won't have a choice, right? Because you know it's getting taken. It's supposed to premiere on Peacock tomorrow, guys. I don't think it's going to. We are missing 9 thumbs up. We're missing 9 thumbs up. Y'all, listen. I was on for 5 hours today. I'm now back on for almost an hour. All I deserve is a thumbs up. That's all I'm asking for. Y'all, tap the screen or hit the thumbs up, please. I mean, come on. Help a girl out here. I could have just said, fuck it, and let y'all watch the other creators. One of the most interesting pieces of the info from Dateline show was the possible witness that nearly got hit by, oh my gosh, yes. I forgot about that. Hello, David. I'm so glad you brought that up. If you guys did not get to watch the Dateline show, when he spun out really fast around the corner, he almost hit somebody. Thank you, David. Whoever you are, welcome. I love David's laughing, y'all. David's laughing. I'm freaking funny, David. Stick around. It was last week. You guys, I could see if I could pull it up. Let's do it at the end of this, which I won't be on much longer. And then I'll just stop it every few minutes and see how far we can get. I feel sorry for both the Anthonys. I followed them a little. Oh, it just breaks my heart that their baby was found right down the freaking road. Someone needs to go beat her ass. And she's living with one of her lawyers. Y'all? Holy shit. What does that tell you? I think Casey Anthony's mom was like numb to her line. She wasn't so numb that she's the one that called 911. She didn't believe she said, it smells like there's been a dead body in the damn trunk. That's what she said to the 911 operator. Barbara Smith, I might do a scout around today and see if I can find it. Find what? Oh, yeah, you got to do it quick if it already hasn't been put out. I don't know. I doubt it's going to. I mean, nobody is saying Peacock is premiering it. It was on NBC, right? And now Peacock is like on all of you could get it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't have regular TV like most of us. You could stream Peacock. So anybody could get it. If you find it, let me know, please, and thank you. Crazy Hillbilly. Hello, little darling. We usually cannot, God, I'm freaking sweating. We usually cannot access shows like Dateline here in Australia. You need to be in the States to view. Maybe a VPN would fix that. I think Maggie said something about the VPN because she actually got to watch it before I did. And then I just found it on their website. Or I didn't. Baby child did. I wonder when Kohberger was leaving, did the other vehicles capture him with camera? I don't think there were too many vehicles around. But I don't know. Listen, they've got a lot of cameras. They've got a lot. David's still laughing, y'all. Fucking funny, David. You're going to be laughing more. JB, you got to watch it. Thanks for the tidbit, mate. Another nail in BK's coffin. Y'all, could you imagine that he hit somebody? He dodged a bullet with that, right? Imagine that he hit somebody. Oh my God. I mean, I feel like going up to that person and asking him, couldn't you take one for the teeth? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, everybody. It's not just kidding. First thing I think of. I know the worst thing I think. Wait. I know that's the worst thing I think of. Oh, the first thing you think. The worst thing is the first thing you think of. Gotcha. Oh, you watched it on Peacock? Well, that was on NBC Peacock, right? That's what I mean. If you don't have that channel on your TV, you can't get it. I couldn't get it because I don't have regular TV. So then I had to download it from somewhere onto my new handy dandy freaking laptop. It's the first thing I did. I watched it on YouTube TV. See, I don't have that anymore. We took that off to Digital Mania. We don't have it no more. We're broke as a joke on Diet Coke around here. I'm telling you what. I think DSM needs a whole new diagnosis when it comes to Casey Anthony. She was a whole new kind of crazy like a fox. She was nutty. And no, don't get me started on that bitch. I'd just like to go beat her young ass. Did anyone want to watch the 49? It was a different, you mean 48 hours? It was a different spin. I think I have seen the 48-hour one. I think I've seen the other two. There were two. And I think I saw both of them, but I'm not sure. I'll check it. The first thing I think of when I think of Casey Anthony's mother, the way she said it smells like a dead body in the car, in the damn car. I'll never forget. That's what she said. No, yeah. You don't have cable either, but do you have YouTube TV? Because you have to subscribe to that. It costs money. And we deleted ours right before this good shit came out. All right, guys, you know what I'm going to do? 14 people here. We're dropping like flies. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if it's still on, the 48 hours thing. Let's see if it's on the Dateline thing. Oh, you don't have live TV? I don't either. We couldn't get it. Most of us couldn't get it. All right, let me see. Oh, but let me tell you guys this before, in case anybody checks out while we're watching this. I'm just going to tell you right now who Brian Kohberger is going to throw under the bus, in my opinion. You guys heard it here first. Does the name... Hold on, I have to remember the damn name. God forgive me for saying I didn't mean it his damn name like that. I just meant the... You know what I mean. Does the name Brent Kopaka ring any bells, people? I'll be careful of the copyright. I'll just keep stopping it, or it'll just shut it down. I could tell you who he is, but I could probably read it too better. Let me look it up. Hold on. It's very sad. Let me just bring up his find a grave and then I'll tell you guys what it is. Well, Brent Kopaka is who Brian Kohberger is going to say did this. Okay. Y'all heard it here first. Let me get this off here so I can read it to you. Make this big. This is Brent Kopaka. I hope I'm saying his name right. Brent Lee Kopaka. He was born 4 October 1986. Y'all, I'm old enough to be his mama because well, not truly, but I had a baby born in 86. He died 15 December 22 at the age of 36, which is nearly right a month after the killings. Okay. We're going to, so this is him, right? This big picture here is him. And then you can do another photo here. I think this is what he looked like when he was killed. This right here. And then this is his service. Y'all, he won the Purple Heart. Not won. He was awarded the Purple Heart for military service in combat in Afghanistan. He received a traumatic brain injury, okay, to which he was not being medicated for. He had severe PTSD from his time in Afghanistan. He lived right there in Pullman, which is where Brian Kohberger lived, okay? Not in housing, but in another apartment complex. And he was shot by a SWAT team officer because there was a phone call that was put out to 911 on December 14th, I think, from his roommate, from somebody in the apartment, one of his roommates or something, that told the police that he was holding a roommate hostage and wouldn't let him out of the apartment. When the police got there, they were there for hours upon hours into the middle of the night of the 15th of December. They called in SWAT team and all that other stuff. He ended up barricading himself into his bathroom. None of his roommates got hurt. Nobody else got hurt in it. Inside the bathroom, he started shooting out of the bathroom door, like through the bathroom door at cops or whoever that was standing on the other side of the bathroom door. And a SWAT team officer shot him. After he was shot and killed, if you go back in the early days, like, now mind you, Brian Kohberger was already on the police's radar. He just wasn't arrested yet when this guy was killed. But everybody on true crime, I'm not going to tell you who, but you would be surprised at some of the people, creators, that are saying Brian Kohberger is guilty today, was saying early on in the investigation after this guy kills himself a month later, even after Brian Kohberger was arrested, that was saying he's the one that murdered the college students. I'm not going to name any names because it's not who I am. But it's sickening, and that's why one of the reasons why whenever I hear in my chat somebody says, oh, I saw this on such and such channel, such and such channel, I'm not about to drop names or links of people's channels like that, because stuff like this, and there's stuff that I know about people, there's stuff that you know about people, and just because they've come around now, what I think that they put this family through and his best friend went through because of YouTubers, and he names the YouTubers the best friend of this guy that put him and the family through hell, having to defend this guy that The only reason all of that happened is because he has a brain injury, one, that's unmedicated, and two, he has PTSD from the war, and he's unmedicated. He gets lumped in with Brian Kohberger as first just being the killer. Nobody cared that. I mean, those people those pro burgers, they were like, he didn't do it. This guy right here did it. He did it. It makes sense. Okay. And then once the police were like, negative, you guys, this is our guy right here. Then those very same creators were saying, well, he was involved. He knew Brian Kohberger was going to do it. He knew about Moscow, and he was going to, he just had trouble living with it. So he took himself out, or the police came and shot him because they wanted to take Brian Kohberger down and make him be the killer of this crime. So the police literally took this guy out to shut him up. Let me just read you guys a couple of memorials of this. This just disgusts me. It's like all hell. So you can go on these any one of these pages. I've showed you guys how to use the find a grave thing. All right. This was what's listed on his. It says, it is with great sadness that our beloved son, Brent Lee Kopaka, went to heaven on Thursday, December 15th, 2022, as a result of a traumatic brain injury sustained in combat in Afghanistan, which led to a 16-year ongoing battle with severe PTSD. Brent was born on October the 4th, 1986. Brent is survived by his mother, Darcy Nixon, and stepfather, David Nixon. His father, John F. Kopaka, his stepmother, Dawn M. Kopaka. Brent was the oldest sibling to Tori L. Davy, Zachary J., Ethan J., Evan M., and Elowen O., an uncle to 3 nephews and 1 niece. Brent proudly served in the U.S. Army from 05 to 09 in the 2nd Battalion, 508th Parachute Infantry Regiment, 4th Brigade Combat Team, 82nd Airborne Division. Brent was awarded the Purple Heart for his service in Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. By volunteering to serve in the U.S. Army during times of war, Brent proved himself to not only be a man of great dedication, but also a selfless servant of the people of our nation. Brent epitomized the values and standards that all paratroopers strive to achieve. Brent's valor in the face of the enemy is a great credit to his character. Those who knew Brent knew him as loving, caring, and a loyal friend. He was loved by his family and friends. Brent always enjoyed remembering people on their birthdays and special occasions. Brent enjoyed the outdoors. He would send pictures and updates to friends and loved ones of new places and new adventures he was on. He loved to experience new places, so it was hard for him to settle in one place. Brent made friends everywhere he went while always staying in touch with the old. Over the course of the past 16 years, Brent fought a courageous battle against PTSD, but in the end, he couldn't break free. Please learn all you can about post-traumatic stress disorder so you will have an understanding of the toll it takes on our veterans, their families, and their friends. Make sure your loved ones seek the help they need. You guys, this family could have blamed the SWAT team. This family could have blamed the police department. This family could have blamed every officer known to mankind. They didn't. They knew he was mentally ill and he was not getting what he needed. So let me just read to you guys a couple of the memorials that were left on. Oh, shoot fire. Are they not here? Hold on. Anyways, I'm not going to read it now. On my phone, I could read all of the memorials. And there are so many memorials on there. Memorials are like this. You just, you know, leave some kind of emoji or a flower or something like that. And then you could leave leave a message to the family or something like that, like a memory or whatever, right? So on his memorials, um on some of his memorials, it talks about Brian Kohberger and hoping that they find justice for the Idaho 4 and that his name could finally be put to rest from online predators and, you know, and the news outlets and everybody that brought up his name associated with the Idaho 4 so that he could rest in peace. Terribly sad to have that many memorials on his page about, this is just showing the flower. Why isn't it? I don't know why it's not showing the memorials, because you should be able to read them. Anyways, so if you want to go look it up maybe on your phone and read through the comments on this that people have left to the families and to him and to his best friend, who said, I haven't been able to mourn my friend because I've been busy protecting his name and defending him. So this is the shit that happens to people, you guys. And it's terrible. It's terrible. Hi, Dirty Mag Yackers. How are you, bees? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. It's not coming up for you on Find a Grave. Yeah, that's what his best friend said. His best friend is in, I forget, but anyways, I'm not even going to read that out, Mary Jane, but everybody else can read out what Mary Jane just said. I can't get down with some creators, and it's because I've seen some shit that they put people through. And it's not just, I mean, if I told you one of the names that the best friend did a article, you could find it. Just Google his name, find articles. And his best friend wrote a long article, you guys, on him. And he listed creators that you and I both know. And until I read that, I actually didn't know that I knew some of the creators, but the one that his best friend really went after is someone we all know. And he called him out up and down, told you every little thing that was said, that he said. Oh, it's terrible. And I just can't. Blame a dead guy. That's never been done before, right? But I'm telling you guys right now, you remember that name. That is who Brian Kohberger is going to say killed. And you watch, the pro-burgers are going to jump on that shit and they're going to ride it out to the end. And even after he's convicted, that really it was this guy right here who killed them kids. I think that is who Ann I'd be going to name also. He's dead, so he can't defend himself. That's right. That's right. Just letting you guys know. At least everybody I know and hears, my people have heard it here first. I think it's worth it for the defense, depending if they can come up with anything else. All they have to do is create reasonable doubt. Yes, only in one juror. They don't need to do it for all 12. It's just got to be one. Just one. That's all. Just one. But it's like the judge said today, because they talked about it in court. The court said he wants the name in writing, and he just doesn't want a name. He wants facts, and he wants oh y'all, I'm getting tired. He wants evidence as to why Brian Kohberger thinks. He said, don't go yank. He didn't say yank my chain, because I would have found that shit funnier as hell if Hitler said yanking my chain. Y'all don't go yanking Hitler's chain, okay? Now listen. No, but basically he's saying, don't waste my time. Make sure you've got facts to back up a name that you're throwing out. Guarantee, because they both lived in the same town, Jay Brad. They both lived in Pullman. That's how. And because he had roommates, and he was holding them hostage. That's why. That woman is going to be a real bitch when they start the trial, and Carol Reed trial defense is so mean and loud. Judge is going to tell Ann Taylor to piss off on trying to pinpoint it on Brent. Yeah, but David, I mean, you sound like we're on the same page. Honey, you know the Kohbergers, they're coming. And they're going to go with that again, too. You don't hardly hear anybody talking about it now, right? Nobody's talking about Brent. Now look at all these people that don't even know about Brent. I'm telling you. You watch. After they name him, even though I think the judge is going to say, fuck off. That's already been, you don't think the police have investigated that? It's going to leak, and the Kohbergers are going to go with it. Because what do they got left to go with? There's no evidence of nobody. That's all I'm asking anybody. I'm open-minded. Bring it to me. Bring it to me. But you have to bring me some evidence. Don't bring me theories or thoughts or what you think or some source told you or something. Bring me something. Hopefully that has to do with documents. Just had to remove USA as place. Yeah, so sad. Lou says, when I worked in forensic mental health, language was a big thing. We would always refer to the offense as being caused by the mental illness, and the offender was also the victim too. Yeah, I mean, kudos to the family, because they could have dragged, and a lot of people would have. But they knew that officer had, I mean, it was either their life or his, and they've been out there for hours and hours, and now he's shooting through the house. Someone was going to get hurt. I mean, and it's a terrible call to have to make. I wouldn't want to have to make it, but kudos to the parents. You don't have Peacock? I didn't have it either because I didn't have live TV. That's why I had to download it. Hey, Joni, did somebody ask Joni that already? Because I don't want to ask her. Joni, are you the one that said that you think that an FBI wife had leaked information to Dateline? Summer Wells case, they pinned a fellow who passed away that fell off a cliff. He had dementia too. Everyone said he was a good bloke, but armchairs. It's because everybody wants a bad guy. Makes me sick. He must have already checked out, Miss Barbara. I figured he would. Different apartment because I happen to be part of a flood. Oh man, that sucks. Sorry to hear that, bees. That sucks. Remember, I had the great flood a couple months ago. It was terrible. B says, after my kids graduate in 2 years, Idaho is where I will end up. Yeah, Rapper was wanting to come on panel, but I didn't want to stop what I was doing, and get sidetracked. Especially when I plan a live for something specific. Was Kohberger and Brent friends? I don't know. Not that now Brent's best friend said that he didn't know Kohberger at all. He would know. It's his best friend. So, oh, here's the other thing I remembered that I wanted to tell you guys. Y'all, I had an epiphany after this live. So I'm bouncing around like trying to figure out what happened in the courtroom when they kicked us all out, right? It came to me, y'all, thinking about the blood, right? I'm watching different stuff. I'm running through all these different things, trying to figure shit out about the courts. Start thinking about the blood. What if I said, I like putting it to you guys that way. Maybe you guys have already thought about this. What if I said that after killing Ethan and then Xana, because that's the way that I think it went off, that BK, do you guys remember the picture? Hold on, let me see if I still have it. Maybe not. No, looks like we got rid of it. Oh, damn. Do you guys remember the picture of the white chair in Xana's room, and Dylan and the other girl was sitting on the floor on that throw rug that was black and white, and then there was like a white fluffy chair, bougie kind of little fluffity fluff chair off to the side, and you could actually see someone sitting on that chair, and you could see their hiney and their legs, but you couldn't see the rest of it. Do you guys remember that? It had that really weird, like, fake carpet on it. Anyone? Hold on. Nope, not it. Hold on, guys, just a second. Hoping it's here, hoping it's here, hoping it's here. It's not here. Damn these. Hold on. Just one more minute. I'm looking through these pictures, see if I can find the one I'm talking about. I can find every other damn picture but the one I want. No, I can't find it. Anyways, Maggie showed it to you guys. It was a picture of somebody was standing in front of a mirror and they had her face blocked out. They were in Xana's room, and you could tell she was standing in the mirror posing. And then there was another picture of her sitting on the floor with Dylan Mortensen in Xana's room, and then they were sitting in front of the makeup table or the vanity, and in front of that was like a froofy little chair for vanities. It was white, and it shows a girl sitting in it. Anybody? No? Anyways, matters not. Here's what I want to say about that. Here's what I thought. Remember that it says that in the last filings, it says that Brian Kohberger, or Dateline put it out, that there was actually blood on a chair in Xana's room. And some people were saying, well, maybe it was Ethan, and maybe he got his legs cut then, or whatever. How about this? What if it was actually Brian Kohberger that after he killed him? So you've got the blood on the bed going down the wall, and then you've got the area where Xana's laying, whichever way that was. We kind of figured out which way it was, I think. I think it's still possible she was laying the other way, but that's neither here nor there. What if he actually sat there and all the blood is right there, but he took off his shoe covers in the chair and then left Xana's room? You hear me out about this. What if he took off shoe covers? This is simple, easy to do. You guys have seen the kind of shoe covers that surgeons wear, correct? Have I been on here the whole time? Can you guys hear me? Are you guys just now hearing me, or have I been talking the whole time? Could someone talk to me in chat? Anybody? I know y'all want to talk to each other, but damn it, just answer my question. There's 18 people here. Yes or no? Hello? Y'all are so sickening. Now work this out with me. You know those kind of blue covers that surgeons put over their shoes when they're in the hospital? I think Kohberger wore something like that. I don't know if they were blue or black or whatever. Doesn't matter. But anybody that's been in the hospital's worn those things that have been in some kind of surgery ward. They're real easy to put on. They're real easy to take off. Okay? How about before he left Kaylee's and Maddie's, before he came downstairs, he popped those off and stuck them down, I don't know, in his kill kit, or his unzipped his thing a little bit, stuck them inside of his coat, zipped it back up, and then slid more on really quick. It would take all of about 15 seconds to do it. Put 2 more on and then went downstairs. Therefore, we're not tracking any blood, correct? Goes in, does what he does in Xana's room, and then he sits down on that chair in Xana's room, takes those off. You guys know that he's wore out. Takes them off, unzips, puts them in the same place as he put the other ones on, and then puts some new ones on, and he walked through. And the reason why I'm saying that is to remember there is a latal. Y'all help me with that word, please. Latent shoe print outside of Dylan's room. So in other words, it couldn't be seen by the naked eye. Right? They sprayed that amino black on it, and that's how they pulled up the latent shoe print. Now follow me in this. Those shoe covers that they put on, you guys, they're just what do you call it? They're just material. They're like biodegradable. If you have accidentally stepped in something, it's not going to necessarily stop it from getting on the bottom of your shoes, on the inside of that. It's wet enough to leave oil or wetness or something on the bottom of his shoes, that when he stepped out, that shoe caught in the right place from, maybe, I don't know, we'd have to ask JB this. Whenever you spray amino black, can you get different results from different cleaners? So say on one part of my floor, I cleaned it with bleach. On another part of my floor, I cleaned it with Pine Sol. If I'm going to leave a latent shoe print on each side of the floor that has both of those different cleaners on it, are we going to get the same results? And the reason why I'm asking you that is not because I think anybody cleaned up a crime scene. It's because people use different stuff to clean floors, right? Would one cleaner show more of a shoe print, the latent shoe print, than a different cleaner? Or does that matter in amnio black? Do you follow what I'm saying? Irregardless, what says he sat down in that chair and changed shoes or took off the shoe covers? Limonol picks up protein and it doesn't identify the cleaner. But can different cleaners change the outcome of luminol? Or will different cleaners change the outcome of a latent shoe print? Okay. All I'm saying is, whenever I was searching through stuff and then I started thinking about the blood, I think about weird stuff at different times or whatever. And somebody sat down in the chair, obviously, with blood on their hinds. Somebody did. I just don't think it was a victim. I'm led to believe more that he sat down to take those off. If it was his shoe print, it could have been somebody else's. Because I just don't see how you could wear Vans to go kill people. Now I wear Vans almost every day of my life. That's my preferred shoe. But I don't know. I would have thought you would have wore some kind of boot or something. Digital says, I'm really curious about the carving on Ethan's leg. Wonder if it was a symbol like the Zodiac killer symbol. You know, that was brought up yesterday in the Kohberger Live. And we're all wondering the same thing. Because they actually did use the word carving. How about we do this? Let me see if I could find something. Listen, if I could find something, I don't know how many people, I think I can have 10 people on panel. Wait a minute. Can't I do a private live? If I did a private live with all of us and showed the Dateline thing, I won't get in trouble then, right? Like, you guys could still be in chat and we could just play it on the screen, right? Like a after hours party. Why only Ethan? That's so strange. I don't know. Was he pissed off that he was the only guy? Just don't press live. So should I end the live? I could end it because you guys could still talk when the live's ended. It's just whenever I take it off the full screen, you guys could still. Oh, so wait a minute. Do you guys want to try it? First, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me see if this is it. Let me see if they took it off of there. Okay, can't do that. All these I have to sign into. Um, okay, I think I've got it. Wait a minute, that's only, no, this is, wait a minute. That's the trailer. Hold on. You guys, all I can find is the trailer. Says the newest episode of Dateline will air on NBC at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard on May 9th. But it also says that it's going to be released on Peacock tomorrow night. But who knows? I don't know why they wouldn't. I'm sure it was a NBC or stream the episode on Peacock after it becomes available the next day. So That pisses me off. It's annoying. I could play the just the audio from it, but I don't want to do that because you really need to watch it. Like see what you're seeing, if that makes any sense. Hi Sean, I'm sorry. On StreamYard you can host up to 12 people. You're on panel. Yeah. Is there foot? Yes. That's one of the leaks was that him leaving what looks like the crime scene and driving like a bat out of hell. Yeah, it says I have to sign in. On Peacock it says I have to sign in, and I don't have Peacock. Yeah, this right here is just the trailer for it. Yep, right there. Pick a plan. Can't do, yeah. In order to watch it on Peacock, I don't have Peacock, so they're gonna make me pay for it. So there's that. Um, just bullshit. I want a free trial. Yeah, I don't have it because we don't pay for Peacock, so I don't know. It's on there. You can see it right now. What are you looking at? Tell me exactly what I type in. Peacock. Okay, hold on. So I just go to Peacock, right? Is that it, Lunch Lady? Peacock? Peacock. Okay, let's see. Whatever you're cooking smells damn. Oh, and left the kitchen. Shit. Um. Okay. Let's see if I can get Lunch Ladies in here. Don't ever send me a password like this again. All right, let's just hope I got it right. Yay! It worked, I think. Hold on, we're spinning, we're spinning. Oh my gracious. All right, all right, all right, all right. So we got to figure out how to do this. Let me stop this. Hold on. Mercy. All right, hold on. Let me get back over to StreamYard. How are we going to do it? Hi, Swede. Hello, good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you so much, Lunch Lady. We appreciate you. All right, how are we going to do this? There's 20 people here. So do I just not go? So do I just start another one or in the stream? Do I end the stream, but not like take it off for everybody? You know how you could still like be typing after my music goes off and it's till I get rid of it? Click on the scroll down. Yeah, I got it, but I need to figure out how we're going to do it where we could just do an after party. Horrible case of under boob sweat eating up my skin. Miss Barbara, you're going to think I'm crazy, and I am. But I need you to get either one of two things: Preparation H or Monostat 7. You can even get the generic brand. Put it underneath your boob. By morning, it will be gone. Tried and true. Tried and true. JB, you can still stay. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it, but I love you. So what should we do? No, I can't start another StreamYard because if I started another StreamYard, then it's gonna be public. So why don't I try to close this? And everybody needs to know how to handle their boobs, Miss Barbara. It's okay that you told us. They all got it too. Seriously, the best one of all of them is the Monostat 7, the generic brand. Just rub that underneath both of them. Bada bing, bada bang. There you go. Works like a charm. You make it private, Leanie. Yeah, but then I'd have to send out the invitations to all of you guys. All right, let's do this. Someone's got to make a decision. And if you close it, you will have to send the StreamYard link to everybody, right? Can I private this right? I don't think I could. Let me look and stay put, everybody. Let me see if I could private this right now. Public. Private. The stream must be scheduled in the future within 1 year. Please edit the start time. So in other words, I cannot, I can't private this until we're done. Suck it. Do it for the people outside of the US. Well, I don't mind doing it for anybody. I just don't know how I would get to because I have to have everybody's emails or everybody's stuff to be able to send you guys the link. This is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to end the stream. We're going to see if we can keep chatting because it'll go off, right? You guys stay in chat, keep chatting, and then I'm going to try to bring it on this screen and see if we can share the screen here, but it just won't let anybody else come in here is what will happen. And it won't show us being live. So I'm going to end the stream. If that doesn't work, I'm going to start another stream right up as a private, or we'll figure it out. I'll just start another stream up. Give me just a second. Nobody go nowhere. I'm going to end it really quick.